What's up, anime fans? This is Raphael from C Manga, and I'm joined by Jonathan.
Hey guys.
And we're here to give you another review of Death Parade, this week's episode, Death Reverse.
Yeah.
Um, Damn, I'm actually pleased with the way this anime is going. I feel like this episode gave us a more insightful look into, the whole world and the way the games work. I mean, what do you think, man?
Yeah, man. I think it gave us a really good perspective on sort of the behind the scenes of how the game is played and um just filling in the blanks that we had from sort of the last episode.
Mm.
So yeah, a lot of things came to light, man. So yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of good how this was, a second episode, but technically it was just the first episode, as you said, from another perspective. But at the same time, it was showing us a lot more new things.
Yeah.
I did find the train ride kind of humorous. We had all these weird people like looking like they're going to some, I don't know, whatever destination they're going to, and
Yeah.
and then when we see that lift guy, I think it was Clavis.
Yeah.
I'm already
Travis.
already loving this guy, man. I want to see
Yeah.
more from him. He's
Yeah,
just
man.
so cheerful with the typical eyes closed. He's just like,
It's like, hey guys.
oh gosh, but yeah, the you might as well say the person who took um most of the limelight was obviously the black-haired girl
Yeah, she
being
took
led around by the arbiter. Is it Nona? Nona.
Yeah, she took precedence
Mm.
this episode, man.
And it really did play out well. It's very perceptive because it kind of confirmed, a few things that we saw last, episode with the whole couple and what was really real and what wasn't. And
Yeah, because it looks like the arbiters don't have sort of they don't really have a graft on a grasp a graft. God.
yeah.
And, and they don't really have a grasp on human emotion.
Mm.
So either they've been doing it for too long and they just turned stone cold, or they're actually basically inhuman and they just judge based on what's given to them. But what's kind of weird is because they said they're memories that they get sort of uploaded into their head.
Yeah, it
It's
gets
kind of like a
compiled and sent to them.
yeah. So it's like a kaleidoscope, which is
Yeah.
if you know what a kaleidoscope is that sort of telescope that scrambles up stuff when you look through it.
Mm.
So it's kind of funny that if they were to be judged directly and exactly on what they did rather than play this game, then obviously it will make a crappy anime. But you know what I mean. So it looks like this is just to bring out true emotion. I think it's just to show for the couples to show each other, what they really are inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting, man.
Mm.
I liked it to be honest, because last episode you're thinking, oh, my hand slipped, and oh, and all of this, and then the memories when they're throwing the darts and how they came to
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's weird how much control these arbiters actually have over, the games and the people. When obviously, as Jonathan said, they get the memories compiled and sent to them. Um, that whole Deckham's pupil rotating was actually freaking. Oh,
yeah, that was kind of
I
like
enjoyed
whoa.
that. But yeah, the whole actual having, control over their memories in that they can invoke them like at will. So it's like in the actual darts game, we see that they were, gradually getting their memories back.
Yeah,
And it seemed like it was always at a moment when, they were either going to throw a dart or, they were going to comfort each other. But that would, their memories of their life or past life would appear and, kind of conflict with what they were about to do. So
yeah,
obviously, like the whole dart thing, he was going to avoid throwing it, and then he ends up throwing it at straight at the stomach because he remembered the whole he thought about the affair.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of cruel in a way what these
It
arbiters
is.
do.
It is, and it's kind of funny as well.
Mm,
Thinking of the arbiters and the memory thing, it looks like hearing for what you're saying before, Raf.
yeah,
It's like I'm thinking to myself now. It looks like the reason why they have the sort of kaleidoscope
yeah,
sort of memory thing is they must need to know exactly what people are talking about when they're having an argument, so they can actually make a judgment. Because there's no
yeah,
use. Because if you go to court, obviously none of us have been to court like that out
yeah,
in the streets. But you know what I mean? Like the judge, is going to be like, oh, okay, um, tell me about this situation. They don't have time for this. They need to judge their souls and get moving. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's probably in terms of like when they're arguing and he goes, that baby's not even mine. Then at least the arbiters can be like flashback and be like, oh yeah, what about this? You tell me about this situation. You catch my
Mm.
drift. So yeah, it's
It's
this
a
thing.
it's a necessary evil in a way,
Yeah,
isn't it?
necessary evil,
Yeah.
man, and it seems to be very useful for the narrative of this
Yeah.
game. If anime doesn't really have a good narrative to it, then it's kind of
Mm.
like blah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just blah. Yeah. So
But yeah, speaking of the whole, obviously, the affair and everything,
yeah,
that black-haired girl who still remains to be anonymous
yeah.
at this point,
She who has
she
no name.
she she is very, very perceptive, and we can, as Jonathan explained earlier, I think her role is definitely to assist, the arbiters who seem to not have much of a grasp on, human emotions, whether they're
Yeah,
lying or not. She watched the entire thing and she pretty much picked out everything that Machiko really was thinking.
yeah,
And it's confirmed that, yes, she had an affair. It was a one off. She felt horrible about it.
yeah.
But instead of
And
obviously,
neglected.
yeah, and instead of obviously, being selfish and saying that the baby's actually is Takashi's because it was, and being reincarnated, she decided that she's going to lie about the whole thing, say that the affair was going on much longer. The
Yeah,
baby isn't he. She didn't love him when indeed she actually was sincere and had
yeah.
love for
Because
him.
because in terms like he obviously had a breakdown, so she's trying to be like, oh man,
Mm,
we can't leave like this because she knows they're dead. She knows they're gonna go their separate ways. So she's there when she's shouting all this stuff. If you look carefully from the last episode, her eyes have no conviction. It's not
mm,
like angry, angry. It's kind of like open. It's kind of like I'm just saying these things
mm.
to sort of lessen the blow to you who've just had a breakdown because you think you've killed your son and your wife.
Yep,
You know
yep,
what I mean? And we also forget we have no actual proof that she cheated on him other than hearsay from a couple of women in a toilet.
yeah.
So, we just have flashes of him going through a phone and
Well,
you know,
I think we actually do have proof because that little glimpse we saw of her memory and she was crying in the bed.
yeah, but who was that guy in the wasn't
That
that him?
No, that wasn't him. That was someone else. That's what they were saying. Like, yeah, she did have an
Oh,
affair. It
the
was a
plot
Yeah,
thickens.
exactly. That was the whole issue. It showed that
Oh,
she did have the affair. She felt
oh,
horrible about it, but it wasn't, an ongoing thing. There was no side man. She did it once. She felt
okay,
horrible. She hated herself for it. But the
damn.
baby was indeed he. So as
Uh,
you said, she wanted to lessen the grief of him killing his own child. So she thought, you know what? I'll lie and take all this hatred. He can go to the, reincarnation, and I'll go to the void. And
Damn, the plot
obviously,
thickens, man. I stand corrected.
yeah. So
There's
it,
actually a moral to the story as well,
mm,
man. You know, don't be cheating on your mans, and the mans don't get jelly because you both
mm.
end up dead at the end of a cliff. So
Because everybody dies.
everybody dies in the end.
I have to
Yeah,
admire her for that, despite obviously being unfaithful. Like to
yeah,
do that, that is like an ultimate sacrifice. Because we actually have an explanation of the whole reincarnation versus the void
I,
thing, and reincarnation. Obviously, everyone should know what that is, but it's explained in this series that the soul will inhabit another person. So that's all good for them. But being sent to the void is like, wow,
Whew, cold,
the
dark.
soul is literally lost and sent
Yeah,
to a deep eternal darkness. So you might as well say you're erased from existence
yeah,
altogether.
yeah,
And this is when I had to admire that woman. I was like, yeah, the cheating was wrong, but to do that, that's
yeah.
what you call love, I have to
Yeah,
say.
it
So,
is, man. So in a way, she kind of atoned for it.
mm,
But even then, remember what it goes back to whether I think last review you
yeah,
said that is it possible for them to actually go through two
yeah,
two people in the same elevator, which seems plausible now because he was it Decim
Deckham.
Decim 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 said uh he actually said he made a mistake, or could
Mm,
he have made a mistake? And for him to think that, you think so. If it was a mistake, and they were really in love and whatnot, would he have sent them both in the same elevator?
I I definitely think it's possible. It
Yeah,
seems like it because
yeah, because.
the
yeah,
guilt he was showing, and obviously the fact that he's made a misjudgment, he feels
yeah,
so apologetic for it. It makes me, it leads us to both believe, because we're both on the same thought here. I
yeah,
think that two people can be sent to reincarnation if there is, what should I say, of the verdict ends up they're both,
yeah,
not bad. They
yeah,
both deserve a second chance. So
yeah.
I really think that's what the end of this episode was pointing at. So
Yeah, I think
may,
so too. Because when the arbiters travel together, they travel in the same elevator anyway.
mm,
So it may be a different one, but hey, but you know what I
either
mean?
way, I get
Yeah,
it.
because
No, you're
I
right.
think
You're
they
right.
definitely can. Because if they
Mm,
both died at separate times, like we said before,
mm,
um, they wouldn't have to be judged that way, and
yeah.
they could both, if they're both good, then they both get reincarnated. But
Yeah.
um, that's
That's all
yeah,
up for,
debate.
debate. Hopefully, the series will show more of that because, as I said, there's still obviously another 10 episodes to show. So if they can delve into that and we can actually see a couple that gets, reincarnated instead of both being,
Yeah,
or either one of them, because I would
yeah.
even want to see the flip side, like
Thank
both
you.
being
That's
sent
what I
to the
say.
void. That would be,
Yeah, like what have you been doing? You know
it's
what I mean? For
like they're
for
both
both of you?
actually evil and they have their secrets, and it's like, well, you're both going down then.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Mm,
And it's
but,
crazy. But this episode was good, but it was
mm,
kind of quite not sad, but it was kind of eye opening. The fact that all you cheated,
mm,
you felt bad for it, and now you're suffering eternal
yeah.
darkness.
It's just like,
It's
man,
actually
that
you
kind of
know.
judgment. But
Oh, and not only that, if she is pregnant, her baby is going down there too.
yeah,
So wow, that's like a 2-for-1 deal.
that's what I'm saying. It really strikes how depressing that outcome is.
yeah,
And
this
damn,
this thing is darker than it
mm,
looks, man. And the intro of them all skanking and dancing.
yeah, it contrasts with the actual
Yeah,
anime. It's like they're all happy and dancing, and then in this, you're just having all these dark like themes, these realistic human like issues that
yeah,
are going on, and you're just like, wow, okay then.
yeah, keeping it real
But
in anime streets, man. But yeah,
I think there's one thing I just wanted to bring up before the end. It's not really a big deal. I want to see more of the flaws because we've seen that is it I keep forgetting it's Nona. She
yeah,
seems to have her own little paradise on a separate floor,
yeah, with
and that Deckim
ruins.
that seems like that bar is his, and his
Yeah,
pastime is actually building mannequins. So
yeah,
it seems like these people do have these arbiters have somewhat of a life outside of judging who's gonna be sent to the void and reincarnation. So
yeah, their little hobbies. Um,
hopefully more of that will be opened up, innit?
yeah,
Mm,
which
but
which which would be good. Which
it'll
would
be
be good.
good. But
But Dekim's hobby makes him seem like a serial killer, though.
yeah, he does, doesn't it?
Building mannequins.
I,
If you walk past someone in the street, like, what's your hobby? Building
yeah.
mannequins. I was like, whoa.
And what's worse is last episode we were led to believe those were dead bodies, to trick the
Yeah,
humans into thinking, to trick the players into
yeah,
thinking that they're still alive and they'll die. But it's actually just mannequins used to, kind of
yeah,
intimidate them into playing the game, despite the fact they're already dead.
yeah.
So it's so much messed up things in this anime, but at the same time, we both love it, man.
Yeah. Oh,
Gotta love it.
uh, after the credits, next episode preview.
Oh yeah, rolling.
Rolling,
What's it?
Ro-
Rolling
rolling,
ballads.
rolling ballad.
Yeah.
Rolling. If you thought things had enough cheese in it,
Hmm.
time for things to get a bit cheesier, man.
Yeah. So
The names are cheesy, but it's
yeah,
quite funny. It's like with every Japanese anime. Innit? I
I'm
think
actually
if we tried to name stuff in Japanese as well, it'll probably come across mega cheesy.
exactly or
So
completely wrong.
yeah,
So,
that's so
but
a rolling ballad.
a bowling game for the next couple. I'm really interested to see how that's gonna work
That's
out.
how I'm thinking. What is each pin gonna represent?
Yeah.
What is a strike
Is
gonna
that a bone or
do?
something?
Edit. And what will a gutter ball do?
Yeah.
I mean, oh,
Uh,
that's crazy, man. That is.
damn. So, got a few more days to wait. Next Friday, man. This is gonna be really interesting. As I said, the series is really starting to open it up. If it can continue like this, I think it's gonna be a really good series for 2015.
Mm, it will be. It will
Mm,
be. Now that Attack on Titan, the anime, has been delayed or pushed back.
mm.
Oh,
Well,
that's nothing to get into this time. But yeah,
yeah,
we'll talk about that next time,
yeah,
man.
we'll bring that up another time. But
Super raging me.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that's more or less it. You've heard, the opinion from me and Jonathan. We enjoyed this episode and we can't wait for the next one. So we like to hear what you guys think. Let us know what you think about this episode, what you expect to happen next, and we'll join you next Friday for the episode 3.
Yeah. Ciao.
Take care.